Welcome back to the Middle East in Depth, where we look at analyses of the region's biggest stories. Peter Oborne writes an article in the Telegraph saying David Cameron has negligible experience of foreign affairs and as a result is out of depth concerning the Muslim Brotherhood in Britain. The article says the timing of Cameron's statement about violent extremism is strange and troubling. His announcement looks very much like a political stunt designed to protect Britain's trading relationship with Saudi Arabia. The article says the announcement comes just 6 weeks after the British defence firm BAE Systems finally agreed to a deal on the price of 72 Eurofighter Typhoon jets it is selling the Saudis. The article also says if Cameron had wanted an independent review, he would never have invited Sir John Jenkins, Britain's ambassador to Saudi Arabia, to produce a report. It looks very much as if the Prime Minister believes that there are gains for Britain by allying ourselves with Egypt's blood-stained generals and Saudi's playboy princes, the article says. The author concludes saying if Mr Cameron really is concerned about the inspiration for violent extremism in Britain, he would be much better off commissioning an investigation into the Saudis. A Guardian article, meanwhile, has said that the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt has hit back against Downing Street investigations. The article says the Brotherhood has warned it will take the British government to court if it tries to restrict its activities in the UK. The Brotherhood has appointed Lord MacDonald to make its case and said it is a peaceful and lawful organisation that does not engage in or promote acts of violence to achieve its aims, also saying it would cooperate with the British government. Analysts have also said governments of Saudi Arabia and the UAE have been placing pressure on any government in the region and internationally that gives any space to the Brotherhood. The Brotherhood responded saying it wished to bring a better understanding about the aims and methods of the Brotherhood and how it intends to return Egypt to a democratic and civil society. Well, now we're joined by Muslim Brotherhood representative in Britain, Dr. Mohammed Ghanem. Thank you, Dr. Ghanem, for joining us.
Thank you.
So, the decision to review Muslim Brotherhood activities in Britain by David Cameron and his decision to appoint the Saudi ambassador to do that, some commentators are saying that that is to protect trade interests with Saudi Arabia and the UAE. Do you see that as an attack on your organisation in London and in the UK?
Well, the way we look at it, it's a political issue rather than legality or really inquiry. We've been here for a long time. We've been in power. We had relation with the English government. They know us inside out. Our literature is clear. Our attitude and the concept and our understanding and the way we promote democracy and the way we achieve our aim, non-violent, is very clear to the British government.
Would you describe your relationship with the British government up till now as a positive one?
Yes, and we hope it will remain positive. But having an inquiry is nothing wrong with it. But it's the timing and the circumstance which is doubt. And the committee, the way the structure of the committee, which is bothers us about a little bit. For the timing, why now? For the committee, why put an assistant, Mr. Blair, and Mr. Blair already has been supporting the coup, and he was friend to Mr. Mubarak. Why you put the head of it, the ambassador of Saudi Arabia in particular?
Yeah.
Why don't you ask us or involve one member of the Muslim Brotherhood in the committee? Then they can answer questions, they can give you material, and they can guarantee that committee conclusion will be non-biased and will be accurate.
I suppose he thinks that by appointing the Saudi ambassador, he's going to receive an impartial review.
Well, we don't know the man, and until we see his work, we cannot judge, to be honest, because the man is, as any individual, has respect from us. But that will show his work. We cannot judge him before we see his work.
And does the Muslim Brotherhood in Britain have any particular aims in this country, or is it just working in exile to support the organisation's branch in Egypt?
Well, this in exile is not. We're not government in exile. We have been here for years and years under the British government. We are a Muslim people who adapt or feel comfortable with Muslim Brotherhood, moderate of understanding Islam. We promote democracy. We are non-violent. Then we have nothing to hide. We not playing politics in exile or anything. We just as active as normal. We publish material. We engage with the government. We do a normal activity.
Yes, some might say that you, some have linked you to Al-Qaeda, and that was also mentioned in several newspapers, that this could inflame the situation with Al-Qaeda. How do you, what do you say to that?
That has no truth at all, and neither been a shred of evidence by us being violent or associated with any other group. Muslim Brotherhood is big enough to be identified within its own literature, within its own aim, its own nature. We don't have to be associated with anyone. But the claim of saying everybody else has come out of Muslim Brotherhood, that's nothing to do with Muslim Brotherhood as an organization, because the individual come out and in. When you say this individual has a different opinion, what about Kamal al-Hilbawi, for example? He's supporting the coup, and he was one prominent figure from Muslim Brotherhood, and he was in England for at least 10 years. Why are you taking this and leaving another one? That's completely unacceptable and unlogical assumption.
And
Muslim Brotherhood is big enough, our literature is available to everyone, and we have nothing to hide.
You say the Muslim Brotherhood is big. Have you found much support for your aims in Britain?
Support in what way?
Support for what you claim to represent, or do you purely have a support base in Egypt?
Yes, a Muslim community is a huge Muslim.
But do many Muslims support you, or is it a very small minority?
We have a huge support, but in a way, because we are as a movement is an idea. People support us, but we don't have to have a structure or an organized group to active, especially outside our country. Here in England, we rather to be a movement, a way of thinking, promoting idea about Islam, which it happened to match or to really go with how the Muslim Brotherhood approaching Islam.
So your response to this report is indifferent. You don't think it's going to affect Muslim Brotherhood activities in Britain?
Well, we have to wait and see, but in legality, we believe in British system, either the juristic system or the political system. And we have done nothing or have nothing to hide, and we feel that the British political system or the justice system has nothing against us. We welcome the inquiry, we have nothing to hide, but we have some reservation, as I mentioned, about the way the committee has been structured.
Thank you, Dr. Ghanem, for joining us today.
You're welcome.
For more updates, please visit Levant.tv. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.